Jake Station, it's 93.3 Jake FM on a More Music Morning. Welcome into Friday. This is Kevin on 93.3 Jake FM.
In 2012, Tyler Media became the largest locally owned radio group in Oklahoma. Its acquisition of Renda Broadcasting began a new chapter in a story that dates back to the birth of FM radio itself, all the way to the mind's eye of a man bent on launching a media revolution. You could say Ralph Tyler was successful in that regard. From radio to outdoor advertising to television, Tyler is ingrained in the way Oklahomans consume media. Oklahoma's Media Company, it's a fitting title and a remarkable story. KOMA, Magic 104, KRXO. With the swoop of a pen, these legendary radio stations and others became part of the Tyler Media family.
We've always been in acquisition mode. We always feel like if you're not growing, you're going backwards. And you have to always look towards the future and try to grow your existing assets and have other assets you purchase that add on.
Honestly, it's been a real breath of fresh air for everyone. Having local ownership is something no one here has had in quite a while. The Renda company did not have local centralized ownership in Oklahoma.
And now they have it in spades, but they have much more. Tyler's story has now become their story. Stock car racing in the 60s was a fitting backdrop for Ralph Tyler's early broadcasting career. A fast track that would often twist in unpredictable directions. Between race announcing and DJing for various radio stations, broadcasting got into his blood. It ultimately led him to the purchase of a struggling country FM radio station called KEBC.
But when he bought the FM radio station, very few people had FM radios at home or in their car. It was a novelty, and the car makers were not putting FM in, just in higher end cars. So he was able to find these inexpensive FM converters that he would go and give away and hand to people. And so it was basically a street marketing effort, hand-to-hand combat, to be able to get people to convert to listen to FM.
So single-handedly, KEBC Radio was putting FM radio in people's cars. Urban Cowboy hit, and you would have thought he was a genius.
Sometimes history repeats itself.
People who worked at Renda were really, really good people, and they meshed so well with our staff. You're so fearful of such a big organization, two big organizations coming together. You're worried that things aren't going to go well. But they blended so well, and great people do that. And the biggest benefit that we got out of that purchase was the people.
We were to have looked at a group and said, that's a really good group that has long-standing heritage brands, great sales teams. If that's a group that we could be like, it would probably have been Renda.
Smart people, strategic decisions, and a touch of good timing have always been hallmarks of Tyler Media. It's true today, and it was definitely true when Ralph built his first radio powerhouse in the 70s.
Dad is a marketing guy. He believes in marketing things and promoting things. He and a lady that he worked with named Jane Graber got with the University of Oklahoma, a professor there, and they actually created a formula to determine how many bumper stickers would need to be put on a car in a market to have a certain amount of penetration.
That's Merle Haggard on KEBC, keeping everybody country here in Oklahoma City. Keep everybody country. That's exactly what KEBC did. Ralph led the small, struggling radio outlet to become the #1 country station in the entire United States in 1981. And just like everything with Tyler, one thing always leads to another.
Dad saw outdoor advertising as an opportunity to promote his business, and he got into the bus bench business, not to sell benches to other people, but to put KEBC on these courtesy bus benches at the bus stops.
And also was able to buy some billboards just to advertise, actually own the structures to advertise KEBC. And people started asking him about advertising on those products, and he said, well, heck, I'll start another business. And so he started a business, an outdoor advertising business, because of KEBC, and was able to buy more assets and build more assets of outdoor advertising and able to sell and rent the space to other businesses.
Probably, I would say, mid to late 80s, we were rolling, and we went from 126 faces to over 4,000 in the 20 years that we
did it.
This sort of innovation continues today. The Renda acquisition allowed Tyler to launch entirely new brands, like the franchise, creating a new voice for sports in Oklahoma, all the while complementing their own stations, such as the top-rated Jake FM.
When it was just Jake, we had some other signals that were viable signals, but smaller signals. So we were sort of David and Goliath sort of story against the other companies. So this leveled the playing field for us. It gave us other brands that we can go out and pitch along with Jake.
And the franchise has just come on the scene with tremendous buzz. The national stories from the day we started, we had national stories break with our talent.
And the remarkable people at Tyler Media know a thing or two about creating buzz, even in other languages.
2 de la tarde, ya con 21 minutos en este día maravilloso, lunes.
The Tylers invested in Hispanic radio in Oklahoma City with tremendous success, serving a rapidly growing demographic that was overlooked by others, paving the way for Hispanic television.
Univision and Telemundo. Univision is the #1 television station in the United States, Spanish, and Telemundo is the number 2, national. And of course, in Oklahoma City, we are the #1 and #2 TV station in Spanish.
Today, Tyler Media produces daily TV newscasts in Spanish for both the Oklahoma City and Tulsa markets, having successfully made the leap from Hispanic radio to television at a time when many people doubted the wisdom.
And nobody wanted to touch it, nobody wanted to know because they didn't think it was going to go nowhere. Well, the radio station is doing great. There's a #1 radio station, and now we're doing the same thing with television. That was a vision for him. My vision was, at the same time, to help the community, and we're still here, and we're very happy to be here.
Happy to be here indeed, in television, radio, and outdoor advertising. Ralph Tyler's legacy of innovation is carried through the decades, attracting his sons Tony and Ty into the family business along the way.
The ability to work with Ty and Tony in particular is very positive for me. I knew of them before the transition, and getting to know them and working with them over the past several months and now over a year has been a true benefit. They're great guys. They're immediate in their response to you. They're very caring individuals. They want to know how you're doing at all times, and they have a true interest in their employees.
And their employees have a true interest in doing phenomenal work. Just ask the Tylers what makes their company great. You'll always get the same answer.
Our success is mainly attributed to the great people we've worked with over the years. We've been very, very fortunate to have phenomenal coworkers, and they're the reason we are successful.